Hello all and welcome to episode 6 of The Late Booter. So what is it in case you are new to it? Well, instead of getting up at the crack of dawn and trying to get there as early as possible and beat everybody to the good stuff and all the bargains, I instead turn up quite a few hours late and see if I can still find something good, something I can add to the collection, something I might be able to trade into CX or even resell to help fund the collection. Now, there is a rule in place, it's quite simple, that I must leave with something, so you'll definitely see a pickup, and fingers crossed that'll be a bit better than last week. I mean, last week was episode 5, and it was the only time that I'd left with a little bit of disappointment, but I'd still left with a couple of items and had a good day out. So nothing to me, or no time to me, was lost. So also, I'm actually quite pleased it's going ahead. I mean, you might notice that the ground is wet. Last night, very late, I mean, the rain was torrential. I think it was hitting my windows sideways at such a ferocity. I thought, there's no way the boot sale's going to be on in the morning. But lo and behold, I've woke up. It's a mild day, it's a nice day, it's not too chilly, the sky is blue, the floor is still wet, but this boot sale is on concrete, so I am quite confident that it's still going to be going ahead. So with that, I think it's time to speed up the walking, get there a bit faster. I'll arrive there just after 12, like I normally do, which means it'll have been open for roughly about 3 hours, and see what I can get, or see what I will get, because like I said, I must leave with something. So let's pick up the pace now and get to the booter. So I just thought I'd interject this into the video because I've shown a little bit of commitment to the cause here and had to walk through this as such. So I've walked on the very extreme side here and been able to get through without getting my feet wet. But I was walking up to it and I thought, geez, I might have to cancel this episode here. But yeah, like I said, torrential downpours last night left to the road flooding and all these cars having to turn around. Now, could that mean I might be at an advantage and less people are going to go? No, not at all. They're going to find another route in. But, you know, it's nice thinking like that. But yeah, just thought I'd interject this into the video and just show you the flooding in the road and just how heavy it was last night, which is actually making me a tiny bit fearful that even though it's on concrete, it might be cancelled. But anyway, let's continue the journey. I'm only about 10 minutes away and see.
£3 for £1 for the games.
Alright, lovely, cheers mate.
Yeah, I know, it's something like my amount to take, you know, I've got to do it.
Them ones are £5 you want them for. Them ones are £5.
It's 5 for one. It's everyone. It's just one. Azi, stai lângă fetiță, Adriana, ce faci? Stai lângă fetiță.
It's all £50 each now. No.
I can give you one to try it.
Okay, so I'm done at the booter and I've done alright. I'm happy today with what I picked up, and the fact I'm not doing my pickups as I'm walking out today would suggest that I've actually done alright, and I've got to plonk my bag down in a minute and show you what I picked up. But just a quick recap of what I left behind. Now, that first box of games that I went to that you'll have seen the footage, you'll even have probably heard the guy say 3 games for £1. I only left with 2 from that box, but I'll explain more in a minute. There was one Wii game in there, which in hindsight should have actually picked up, because I've looked up how much it trades in for afterwards, and it's a £1.60 trade-in. So a little bit of a slip up there, but I don't know my Wii stuff. It's hard to brush up on a bit of Wii knowledge there, I think. You'll see me going through 2 sort of boxes on the floor, sort of plastic tubs of old sort of third-party controllers and stuff. There was an N64 third-party controller in there. It's the first time I've ever seen something N64 related at that boot sale, but it was all bashed up and beaten up and dirty and grubby, so yeah, I wasn't keen on picking up anything from that box at all, which was a shame really, because there was a Wii remote in there as well, but that was horrible, because I did go back and have a further look deep into the bottom of that box as well, and it wasn't good. It was a bit grim. There was another box you'd have seen me sort of go through, and I saw a copy of Black Ops on the Xbox 360 in there. Now, I do actually have Black Ops, the first one, and I would have picked it up for trade if, you know, there was a decent markup for me, but I asked her how much she wanted for the game, and she said £2. So yeah, £2 for what is £3 trade-in, I think, wasn't worth it at all. Found another Rogue FIFA in a box full of Big Bang Theory DVDs. And then finally, you'll have seen a stack of games on a table that said £1 each. And obviously I had to stop recording so I could go through those games. Went through those games. They were all different FIFAs. There was a Skylanders game, and there was Fight Night Round 3. So for £1 each, they weren't really worth that at that value. So obviously I left them all behind. But I do have games in my bag. I have stuff in my bag to show. So we need to find somewhere to plonk my bag down. And I did show you what I picked up today at the booter. Right, found somewhere to settle, so here's what I have picked up from the booter. And as I say, that very first stall I went to, obviously the guy, you heard in the footage again, he said 3 games for £1, so interest was piqued instantly because I could see some 360 in there. However, the only 360 game I needed for the collection from that box was World Snooker Championship 2007. Check the disc is fine. It's got a nice clean crisp minty manual in it as well, so really pleased actually to pick that up. And then I was going through all the other games trying to find 2 more, because obviously 3 for £1 is not a lot, and the only one that piqued my interest was this one here, so I thought I'll grab that as well and then try and find a 3rd one. However, I could not find a 3rd one, although I should have picked up that Wii game, which was Scrabble Interactive, which trades in for £1.60, so didn't know that. Looked it up after the event, too late, long gone. So I did say to the guy, look, I only want 2, can I have 2 50p? He ummed and ahed, and eventually he said yes. So I've got this Dropship United Peace Force game for the PlayStation 2 for only 50p. Just thought it'd look interesting for a quick bash. Okay, went to another stall and they had boxes of Blu-rays, DVDs, and these few games scattered in amongst it for the 360. Obviously, seeing the green cases, interest peaked immediately. So I asked how much for the games, because it was priced up at £1 for Blu-rays, or DVDs 50p each, or 3 for £1. So, well, these are games, so I'll ask. And he said, oh, they're 50p each. So, yeah, obviously piqued my interest. I do actually have this one, but the games on that store looked very well looked after, so I thought that is going to be probably an upgrade. It trades in for £1 something as well, so there's a markup for what I paid. Little spoiler there. And yeah, so I think it's an upgrade for my copy, so I'm really pleased to pick that up, and for what is 50p. And I say that because I picked up another game off him. I've got Borderlands, but this is a minty copy, disc mint, manual mint, and it's got the slipcase, because we all love that extra piece of cardboard. And yeah, so 50p for that I thought I was paying. So I did pick up one more game, because I actually need Elder Scrolls for Oblivion, complete with manual and map and everything. Obviously it's lovely and minty as well, so picked that up, and I went to get £1.50 out, and he went, oh mate, they're 3 for £1. So there we go, 3 Xbox 360 games for £1, and I've got a Command & Conquer Red Alert 3 to trade in at some point, whether it's an upgrade or this one, and I'm going to make my money back and see a trade credit there. So finally, just one more little pickup. There was a store selling bags of toys for 50p each. I saw 2 Minion bags, surprise bags, blind bags for 50p, and I thought, you know what, I'll buy that to put in my blind bags box for my 3 blind bags series. And I might even sort of staple these together and do these as a bonus 2 for 1 when they get pulled. Now I have done the Despicable Me 3 10 blind bags opening, but these are just Minions. There's literally just Minions in it, so who doesn't love a Minion? An upside down Minion at that. There we go. So we'll look forward to opening those when they get pulled in that 3 blind bag series. So today was okay. I'm happy with what I got. A nice bundle of 360 games and a PlayStation 2 game, which will be fun to try. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That just leaves me to say thank you very much for watching, and as always, please do take care. Right, okay, so obviously I meant to tag this on to the end of the video, but I decided to go to the charity shop. Now, I hadn't planned on going, which is why I never mentioned anything and just sort of signed out of the video like I normally do. But I decided to go because I thought, you know, you didn't go last week, and you're not going to go this week, and you're kind of going against your own advice here. But, you know, you always say that if you've got a chance to go, you've got to go, because you never know. So, and the reason why I wasn't going is because there's a little sign in the window saying we're no longer taking donations of these items, and amongst the list is DVDs, and that pretty much covers games as well. But in the back of my head I said, do you know what, you've got to keep going because you never know. So I did. So I went, and it was totally worth it. Now, I walked into that charity shop, I glanced in the back right hand corner like I normally do, and the DVD shelves, yeah, they're looking bare. I'm thinking, you know what, you said you never know, but it looks like you did know. But I do know where to look with regards to stuff that's about to go out. And I glanced over and I see a pile of green cases in the trolleys waiting to go out, and I'm thinking, I know that green anyway, I know exactly what they are. Goes over and I say to the guy, do you mind if I have a look at those games, please? Yes, stack of 360 games. He says, sure, no worries. Pulls them all out for us, and I have a look, and I'm like, can't believe this. Absolutely brilliant. What a stroke of luck. And I pulled 6 out of about a pile of 10. I left a cricket game behind, a couple of FIFAs, a GTA that only had the installed disc, and Duke Nukem, which had no disc at all. So I left those behind, but I picked up 6 games. Went over to the shelves and thought to myself, yeah, I'll have a look here as well quickly, because of course you never know. Turns out they'd put a few out already. There was a couple of more games there for me, which I picked up as well and I've left with. Now, there's only a couple of these that I need. One is an upgrade for me, definite upgrade for me. But I picked them all up, expected to pay 50p each for them, because that's what they charge there. Because I've got a couple of mates who have just started out collecting the 360, and they've sorted us out with stuff in the past, so I could sort them out at the same time, you know. Good thing about this community is we look after each other. So yeah, took them to the counter, expected to pay 50p each. Anyway, took these 8 games to the counter, plonked them on the counter. Here are the 8 games, and the guy says £1. he basically sells them to me as DVDs. £1 for all of these. Now I need Fight Night Champion, and that's one I've been holding off of because it's sports. A lot of people don't realise it's worth a bit of money. I mean, CX have sold it as high as £20 in the past, 15 recently, but it's currently worth 12. Trades in for 4. So there's an instant profit on trade should I want to just trade them all in anyway. But it's a £12 game, and that is one I've been after for ages, and I knew I could pick up cheap eventually, and I have done. The Beatles Rock Band is my replacement game. Very kindly gifted it by Eddie of Rollercore as a placeholder. You know, it's got a perfect disc in it, but there was no manual and the case was broken. Now I can replace it with a mint copy for my collection. I need EA Sports Fight Night Round 3, so that's for me. The other 5 I already have. That Rock Band 2, by the way, is sealed. And the other 3 are games which I think hold a little bit of value, especially if you're only paying, I can't do the maths of £1 divided by 8. But I am super pleased to have picked these up, and it just proves to show that it is indeed worth always going. So ladies and gentlemen, now I really am saying goodbye. There's no more charity shops to go to. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, please do take care.